My name is Andrew Reego, and I did the Precedent assignment number 1 on the Himeji City Museum of Literature. The museum was built by Tadao Ando, and it is located in the heart of Hyogo, Japan, near one of Japan's cultural treasures, the Himeji City Castle. The museum consists of 3 buildings, the first being the main building, which was built in 1991, as well as the second building, which is called the Annex, which was built 5 years later in 1996. And third is a traditional Japanese-style pavilion called the Bocatelli, which was built some 80 years before the museum was built. The museum was built to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Himeji City becoming a municipality, and the building was devoted to the Japanese philosopher Tetsuro Watsuji, and appropriately, the building was built with only materials relating to the philosophy of Tetsuro Watsuji, as well as 8 other writers and philosophers from the area. The building relates directly to Professor Harris's lecture about how a building is nothing more than the context around it, and this is a perfect example of that, because as you can see, the museum really isn't anything that special. It's a well-architected concrete building, but it's nothing extraordinary. However, when it sits in the surrounding forest, on the hill with the sky all around it, it becomes quite beautiful. Furthermore, the building relates to Professor Harris's lecture on the 4 different building types. First, the museum sits up on the hill, like I said, and this creates a perch. Next, the museum has large openings in both the main building and the annex, as well as a large pathway that sits up on the second story connecting the 2 buildings, and together those create kind of alcoves. Third, there's a large area in between all the buildings, and there's a man-made lake as well as a garden there, which allows for visitors to roam freely throughout, creating a commons. And lastly, the entire museum has paths connecting it, which sit on flowing water, which is quite unique. And as you can see here, rather than the paths just being connected over concrete, they're actually connected over like steps of flowing water, creating a very unique feel to the museum. Finally, Ando's architecture relates to the reading of Peter Zumthor, in that the architecture of the museum creates emotion. The way Ando set up the buildings was that you're kind of led through pathways and stairways through the museum to the different buildings on kind of an experience, and in this experience visitors are able to have emotion. Their emotions are aroused through just walking through the building, in that with the sound of the water around them, the great views of Himeji City and the castle in the background. And lastly, in the way that Ando built it, he has a lot of natural light flowing throughout, so as you walk through you get various lighting and shade from just the architecture, and all of this creates emotion. I think this building sets the precedent in that you don't have to make your architecture all extravagant, you just have to make it simple and fit in the environment that it sits in, and in doing that you can make a building beautiful. Thank you.